Harlem natives have been known to use their talents in the arts to express their thoughts, struggles, and problems that they regularly experienced. Graffiti, jazz, and breakdancing are just a few art forms that prospered throughout Harlem and allowed those who were oppressed to freely express themselves when other methods of communication were not available. To many outsiders looking in, some of these art forms were viewed as rebellious, but to many Harlem natives that practiced their craft, it was a sign of hope. The Express Yourself Arts in Harlem exhibit, proudly sponsored by the Museum of the City of New York, allows New York natives and tourists from around the world to revisit the struggles, achievements, and contributions that helped shape the attitude and spirit of Harlem. The main goal of the exhibit is to raise awareness of a fading culture that once existed because the values that were fought for shouldn't be forgotten. The exhibit will be broken down into various sections and will cover different themes. The first theme will cover some of the messages being expressed and the problems that came with practicing some of these art forms in Harlem. Famous artists like Keith Haring and G. Michel Basquiat used graffiti as a platform to be heard. Though some of the artwork displayed throughout the subways, recreational parks, and buildings were beautifully constructed, it was still a crime. The charges ranged from loitering to vandalism, and the consequences were severe. The second theme will focus on various styles that Harlem has contributed to. This section will cover the musical genres of jazz, blues, and hip hop, and will familiarize visitors with artists like Thelonious Monk, Big L, Duke Ellington, and Dipset. Alongside a brief description of the artists will be actual music records and lyrics to the songs. This will show the diversity that came out of Harlem and the important messages that these artists tried to convey. The last theme will focus on the accomplishments that came out of the expressive arts. Some of the messages that were being spread throughout the streets of Harlem were finally being heard. Politicians and government officials were reading and listening to the positive, nonviolent messages that are being expressed through the arts. Visitors will be able to see how the expressive arts contributed to the promotion of national development. It is important that Harlem natives and those visiting remember all the things that helped shape the great city of New York.